Welcome back, Royal Sussex Squad, the one place where truth is honoured, dignity is defended, and Harry and Meghan are celebrated, not slandered. In a world where tabloid lies run wild and bitter voices cling to outdated systems, we're here to shine a light on resilience, purpose and power. If you're tired of the hate, if you're done with the spin, then you're in the right place. Grab a cup of something warm, settle in, and let's get into the truth they never wanted us to see. And remember, if what we do here speaks to your spirit, don't forget to subscribe and support this channel with a super thanks. It's how we keep this community alive and our voices strong. So now, let's talk about what the British tabloids just reluctantly admitted. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have gone and done the unthinkable. They've created their very own royal household in Montecito. That's right, not only are Harry and Meghan still standing, they're building something the old guard never saw coming, something rooted in dignity, structure and power, but free from the toxic chains of palace politics. Do you remember the narrative back in 2020? The same tired royal reporters who now claim to have sources inside the Sussexes' new world were the ones gleefully writing their obituaries. They swore that Harry and Meghan had no future without the firm, that they'd come crawling back, broke, irrelevant, on the verge of divorce, that without the monarchy's infrastructure they'd collapse under the weight of their own dreams. Remember that? They laughed, they mocked. They called Meghan a diva, a manipulator, a destroyer. And Harry? They said he was a lovesick fool, a man who turned his back on his family and would soon regret everything. But here we are. 5 years later, and who's still obsessed? Who's still spinning stories? Who's still trying to explain how Harry and Meghan are flourishing without their approval, without their control, without their titles or taxpayer handouts? The answer is simple. The very same media that tried to bury them is now scrambling to understand how they bloomed. Let's break it down. The Daily Mail, in one of its more accidentally honest moments, reports that the Sussexes have restructured their staff to resemble a royal household. And let's be clear, this isn't about copying the palace. This is about crafting something better, smarter and more adaptable. They've hired Meredith Kendall-Maines, a powerhouse communications strategist, to lead a team of 11. 11. That's not a passion project. That's an empire in the making. Maines is being compared to Sir Clive Alderton, the private secretary to King Charles. But let's not get it twisted. Maines isn't babysitting a crumbling institution built on hierarchy and privilege. She's managing a dynamic couple with global reach, modern goals, and a vision that actually includes progress. And reporting to her, Meghan and Harry each have their own chief of staff. Let's talk about that, because that's power, that's intention, that's two people who know exactly who they are and where they're headed. Harry's new chief of staff is Miranda Barbett, an Obama alum who helped re-elect a US president. This isn't some palace flunky. This is a woman with real experience, real clout, and the kind of strategic mind the royals could only dream of. She managed the Sussexes' trip to Nigeria with skill and class. A trip that showcased Harry and Meghan's global relevance and made certain people back in Britain squirm. You know who I'm talking about. And what about Meghan? While critics waste their breath trying to downplay her, she's been busy building, as ever, her lifestyle brand that's already making waves. Her jams and teas sold out instantly, and there's more on the way. She's not waiting for the world's approval, she's creating it. Meghan is doing what the monarchy never allowed her to do, thrive on her own terms, and it's driving her detractors mad. Of course, the Daily Mail can't resist slipping in their usual poison. They claim Harry is weary of bad press and that this restructuring is an admission of failure. Failure? Where? The man is fighting legal battles to protect his family's security and privacy. He's building new ventures. He's expanding Invictus. He's taking the reins of his narrative. If that's failure, I'd hate to see what success looks like. And yet they insist he's humbled, like that's some kind of defeat. No, what we're seeing is maturity, growth. A man stepping into his own, without bitterness, without regret. They say he's now listening to people from his old royal life. Really? The same old royal life that leaked to the press, sabotaged his wife and ignored his pleas for help? Let's not be naive. Harry has seen the truth, and once you see it, you don't go back. He's not reminiscing. He's refining. Let's talk about that so-called bad advice from US-based experts. The media wants us to believe that Harry is turning away from America disillusioned, but the truth is he's been building, quietly, deliberately. This isn't about fleeing back to the monarchy, it's about taking the best of what he's learned, discarding the rest, and crafting a new path. A path that doesn't involve bowing to a crown that never protected his family. And let's not gloss over the hypocrisy. The very same courtiers and royal reporters who said Harry and Meghan could never replicate a palace office are now suddenly in awe that they've done exactly that, and better. And now they're trying to take credit for it, claiming the Sussexes are succeeding because they're finally following trusted royal methods. Give me a break. This success isn't thanks to the palace, it's in spite of it. It's not because they followed tradition, it's because they had the courage to break it. Everything the firm said they couldn't do, they've done. Build a brand? Done. Sign lucrative deals? Done. Keep the world's attention without the royal machine behind them? Done and done. But here's the part that matters most. They've done it all while staying true to who they are. Harry the soldier, the advocate, the father, the protector. Meghan the humanitarian, the mother, the innovator, the voice. Together they've proven that purpose and love are more powerful than titles and crowns. So to every critic still clinging to tired narratives, your time is up. You don't get to write their story anymore. You don't get to decide their worth. The Sussexes are writing their own legacy, and we are here to witness it, to support it, and to celebrate it every step of the way. Mail, the Sussexes are creating their own royal household in Montecito back in 2020. Buckingham Palace, Clarence House and Kensington Palace's courtiers convinced themselves that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex would come crawling back to them, humbled, broke and on the verge of divorce. Courtiers smugly told reporters that Harry and Meghan had no way of replicating the palace office or being able to run their own quasi-royal operation outside of the firm. All of the courtiers were quickly proved wrong. Harry and Meghan signed lucrative contracts and staffed up their new business and foundation. 5 years later, those courtiers are still trying to understand what happened and how they were so wrong about the Sussexes. They're still trying to lie about Harry and Meghan and pretend that the Sussexes are unpopular or unsuccessful or on the verge of losing everything. And now this. The Mail claims that suddenly Harry and Meghan have created their own de facto royal household, and they're staffing it like a royal office. What are we doing here? The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have created their own royal household. The Mail on Sunday can reveal the couple who left their roles as senior royals in 2020 have dramatically revamped the structure of their staff to make it more like the hierarchical system that has successfully underpinned Prince Harry's family for decades. Meredith Kendall-Maines, a seasoned communications strategist whose role has already drawn comparisons with Sir Clive Alderton, the formidable private secretary to King Charles and Queen Camilla, will be at the helm of a team of 11, operating out of Montecito, California and the UK. The new operation will be run separately to Archewell, the Sussexes' philanthropic foundation. The MOS can reveal the restructuring, which will see each senior appointee reportedly earning a six-figure salary, will include the Duke and Duchess, each having their own chief of staff, Harry launching his own as-yet undisclosed commercial venture in the next few months, Meghan's lifestyle business, as ever, expanding its range of products later this year. The Duke, 40, is said to have been growing increasingly weary of the negative publicity he and Meghan have attracted, particularly in the UK, where he has been fighting several legal cases over his privacy and security. The couple, who celebrated their 7th wedding anniversary last week, are said to be keen to rehabilitate their reputations after several damaging blows to their popularity in poll ratings. Last night, a source told this newspaper a royal household-style structure will give them both a streamlined framework that has been missing since they left the royal family. The recent polling showing that Harry is one of the lowest-regarded royals means he has at last conceded there's nowhere to go but up. There's humility there. It's time to streamline his operation and find a new way of getting his message across. Service above oneself is the cornerstone of everything he does. Previously, the Sussexes relied on informal advisors, but the hope is that by following the same trusted methods as the monarchy, they will be able to safeguard their reputation and build their business and philanthropic interests. One of the first tasks of the operation will be to mastermind the launch of Harry's own commercial venture as he attempts to find new purpose, after stepping away from his African charity, Centebale, amid bullying accusations by its chair. While it is understood the prince will continue to focus on the Invictus Games Foundation, he is also said to have commercial ideas of his own, the details of which will be revealed later this year. A source said, "Harry is unkindly described as the spare to Meghan's endeavours. In reality, he has been giving her the space to flourish. Now it is his time to throw himself into exciting new work. Invictus will always come first, but he has also been working on commercial ideas of his own. The new household will also help steer Meghan's business, as ever, as it prepares to launch new products alongside its sold-out range of jams and teas. Reporting directly to Ms. Mains will be Meghan and Harry's two new chiefs of staff. Miranda Barbett, a veteran political and media advisor who helped re-elect US President Barack Obama in 2012, will work solely for Harry. First hired by the Sussexes in 2022, she is already a trusted hand and masterminded their successful 3-day trip to Nigeria last year, which was said to have been controlled skillfully. My somewhat unpopular opinion is that Harry and Meghan moved so slowly for years, 2020 to 2022, because they were trying to replicate some kind of royal office, before ultimately abandoning that idea for a more hybrid, corporate America type of organization. As in, this current storyline is Team Windsor trying to take some kind of credit for Harry and Meghan's successes, all while blaming them for not adopting this method earlier. When the reality is that Archewell is not currently organised like a royal court, and the Sussexes have learned the hard way that they need to operate in a more forward, streamlined and corporate America sort of way. The Daily Mail also had a connected exclusive from Charlotte Griffiths, who claims that her trusted contacts told her months ago that Prince Harry had grown dissatisfied with bad advice from US-based image experts. He was instead starting to consult with people from his old life as a working royal. The same people from his old life who leaked shti to the Daily Mail, the same people from his old life who now advise the Workshire heir? No. Now, I absolutely believe that Harry had some culture shock when he moved to America, and it took him a second to work out what kind of structure would work best for him. But no, he's not looking wistfully back at all of those old fart courtiers who knifed him in the back constantly. If you believe in truth, in growth, in standing tall, even when the world tries to knock you down, then stand with us. Subscribe to this channel, join this community. And if you can, leave us super thanks to help us keep going. We're not just talking, we're building something too. A space for honesty, for justice, for celebration. Because at the end of the day, the Sussexes didn't leave the monarchy to escape. They left to evolve, and they're showing the world how it's done. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing, and until next time, keep your head high, your heart open, and never stop standing up for what's right. This is Royal Sussex Squad, and we'll see you again soon.